listening to The Big Question by Jessica Kingsley. That's me. And I'm going to be presenting my journey of self-discovery to find out if, by altering my nose, will I actually alter or change my life. But I'm also going to be looking at the broader picture. I want us to delve into society's obsession with beauty standards. Society's obsession on the street, on our TVs, on our screens, and the pressure we put on ourselves. In a world, especially a Western world, why do we boast about how diversified we are when it comes to looks? When actually, we're no more further than we ever were, and there's even greater pressure than ever to conform to trends and perfect beauty standards. I believe that my big nose is holding me back from my big dream of becoming a TV and screen actress. I want to find out if talking to other people about their looks and about the industry will actually help me to decide whether or not I should have a nose job. Hello and welcome to The Big Question. I'm Jessica Kingsley and I have written and produced this podcast that you are listening to or watching. And if you're watching, you can tell that I am somewhere different this time. I'm on my couch because I'm really excited because today I have the wonderful actress Suzy Bloom joining me on the couch. We were actually talking earlier that it was like on the chaise longue. And before I speak to her, I had a few reasons to invite her onto the podcast, but one of them was I saw her in a show in Wimbledon and it was amazing. She was playing Hedy Lamarr and I was really captivated by her performance and her personality, and I just felt that I would like to talk to her, and she said yes. So I'm so excited, and yes, so we're going to be heading over to have Suzy Bloom join us on the couch.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm very excited to have you here. And on the chaise longue, which is a song,
I'm
isn't
very
it?
excited to be here. Is it a song?
It is by Wet Leg, the band.
Oh,
On the chaise longue, but it's not. It's my couch.
No, I'm a bit rubbish with that. Yeah, but it's a lovely, beautiful couch.
Thank
Colour.
you. I was just saying that this couch has been sat on by Colin Firth, not in my home. Just to say, it was in a movie, and then they were going to throw it out, and my husband rescued it, and so we can pretend we're sitting where Colin.
Yeah.
So before we start, thank you, as I said, for coming in. But can you tell our listeners about you? I don't know. It's up to you where you want to start. You can start as far back as childhood. In fact, you said earlier that you always wanted to go into acting and performing.
Yes. So, well, that's a really long time ago. So I've been in the business now for 34 years.
Wow.
And nobody knows who I am.
Oh, we'll get on to this.
It doesn't matter. I love it.
They do know who you are. I'm just
thank
going to
you.
stop you there. They really
Okay.
do. Because there's a couple of people I've spoken to and they really know who you are and have amazing things to say about you.
Oh,
But
that's
anyway.
so lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So some people know who I am. And oh golly. So quite a long time I've just loved acting. Started off as a dancer, and I was thinking today on the train as I came in, what did I love about dancing? I went to my first ballet lesson when I was 6 years old. And what I loved about it was being able to express myself and also have lovely arms and things like that. But expressing myself. And so the acting is the same, expressing yourself.
For those that can't see, I should actually describe you as somebody who's very incredibly graceful. I did notice when you walked in and on stage, but on stage it's different. You don't know if they're performing graceful, but you have a real elegance about you. So it's interesting you say you started with ballet.
It must be the training.
Yeah,
I think it must be
because you hold yourself really well.
Well, it's funny actually, when I was like, no, I'm going to be an actress, I'm not going to do dancing anymore, I started to really hunch so that people wouldn't assume I was a dancer. Because I didn't want to be put in that pigeonhole of I mean, some people pigeonhole you, others with broader minds think, well, you can do, hopefully you can do it all, you know, and they give you a chance.
Yeah,
But
I remember one of my early castings was I was the ballet teacher in Fame. And I mean, this is at uni, so it's not anything exciting really, but they cast me because I had a long neck.
yes,
Have you had
yes,
that?
you do. Yes, you know, it's strange, isn't
A
it?
long neck. Oh,
Yes,
you
you
look
do. You
very
do look like
elegant.
you're a
You look like
dancer.
a ballet dancer with a long neck. I was
Well,
like,
you do actually.
thanks, I'll take the part.
Have you had any dance training? Because you look like you're a dancer.
Like you as a child,
Yeah.
but I gave up.
Yeah.
Because apparently my left foot didn't turn out right in arabesque, so I was never going to make it as a dancer.
Oh, that's mad, isn't it?
I was crushed. No,
That's
it's fine. I don't
mad.
think I would have been cut out for it.
Well, it's not easy. I think. I mean, I didn't carry on to be a ballerina. It's tough, but then in the acting world, it's tough as well because you might not get a job because you're not tall enough and not small enough.
Yeah.
You know what it's like.
So did you grow up in London, South London?
No, so I'm from Southampton originally.
Southampton.
Yes.
Okay.
And I moved up to London for, I think it was like my third job. I feel funny now saying this, but I got Cats, the musical.
Nice.
And I was still living at home with my parents in Southampton. Well, near Southampton in a little village called Hedge End, which isn't so little anymore. It's sort of sprawled out a bit and it's got a massive, it used to be famous for its strawberry fields, actually. So lovely. Yeah, so I grew up in Hedge End and then moved up to London when I was 19 to be in Cats, the musical, the New London Theatre.
That sounds amazing. That was an era, right? That was big. That was big. I remember
that was big,
my sisters were obsessed with that musical.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's quite bad, really. I hadn't seen it until I did my final recall. And I thought, I need to see it.
So you didn't know what it was about?
Well, I knew. I'd got the tape.
Yeah.
I got the cassette tape. And I'd listened to all of that because, of course, all the songs are on there and I had to sing some of the songs for my recall. But what happened was I was doing my first, and what at that time was my only pantomime at Bradford Alhambra with some lovely girls who we'd gone to the same college. There were 4 of us and they knew all about Cats and everything. And there was an audition being held in Leeds, which was quite close, for the tour. They said, let's all go, come on. And I thought, well, I don't really know. I've heard about it. Of course, I'm trained, but I'd never seen it. I'd seen the things that had come to the Mayflower Theatre in Southampton, and I'd seen Barnum in the West End, I think. So
I'm getting this feeling of small town girl.
Yeah.
Suddenly thrown into the city.
Yeah, so we auditioned together for Cats in Leeds, for Cats the tour. I didn't get it. And one of the girls got it. And then I was back in Southampton and my friend who lived in London, who I'd done the panto with, said, they're auditioning at the back of the stage, newspaper, because there wasn't the internet or anything. Back of the stage, newspaper, they're auditioning for the London cast. But it says previous applicants need not apply. So we thought, we're not allowed to go. And then I said, let's go. Let's just go. Come on. If they recognise us, we'll be chucked out. So we queued around the block for the open audition, and it's held at the New London Theatre. So that was amazing going in there. You know, that whole experience, so many girls there, all up for who knows what part. But it was an open audition in the stage. We went, my friend and I got right down.
Explain to the listeners what the stage is, because I don't know. People might not know what it is.
So the stage,
and I think I missed out on the stage. So I'm going to be 45, but I remember my sister, who's 55, she was always obsessing over the stage.
Yeah.
So
I think it might have come out on a Thursday. I'm not sure, but as soon as it came out, you went to the newsagents and you bought it. It was called The Stage and Television Today. And, you know, it had lots of things. Equity, article, Equity, the Actors Union, had things from them. But I didn't really look at those. All we did was we'll go to the back.
Yeah, the job.
For the job section.
Right.
And see what was being cast, what auditions were being held.
That sounds really, I don't know, like tactile and visceral of like, I want to get a job,
Yeah.
so I'll buy the paper. And...
Yeah, you got up early, went and bought the paper with cash.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it was, but you used change, that shiny stuff to buy it.
Kids
you
today will never get this. Anyway.
You circled it in red. You phoned your friend on the landline to say, shall we go? I'll see you there.
So cool.
You had to decide what time you're going to meet and then meet them at that time.
And you couldn't be late.
You couldn't be late because you didn't have a mobile to say, I'm just going to be... No. Meet them at that time. Oh, it was exciting. Nerve-wracking because there were hundreds. And also probably nerve-wracking for the people who were auditioning. They were sitting behind the desk all day and you couldn't turn people away. You had to see them. And thankfully, my friend and I got right down to the last few, and then I got a recall. And she is my friend who didn't get it at that point. She's the most fantastic dancer you have ever seen. And she's still dancing now. And she is incredible. I feel bad. She didn't get the show. I did my final recall and then went to see the show and thought, oh yeah, this is great. I mean, I knew it was great. Yeah. It was in the West End. It was in its 12th year.
Wow.
When I got it, of running. And so it was the original version of I think nearly original. So at 19, gosh, it was amazing. It felt amazing walking to the theatre, coming up the steps. And this may sound a bit corny, but whenever I'm walking into a job, if it's a television studio, a recording studio, a West End theatre, studio theatre, I'm still so excited to be there. I go in and I think, I'm in the theatre. I'm walking up the steps backstage.
That's like a
so
true
exciting.
Actor's like life and feeling and soul, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you start to tingle, that moment when you
they
go
want
in.
me. I've got a job. I'm going to be doing what I love. So apologies, but I'm still like a little puppy. I'm still so excited to be there.
But that's not an apology. That's what it's about. Otherwise, people say, "Why do you do this job?"
But I think maybe my enthusiasm, I hope I keep it, down a bit. But I think to some other actors, well, I think it might be quite annoying. So I have to be, it just has to come out of my eyes rather than,
Are you that person at an audition who's like, oh, this is exciting to be here? And they're like, I'm looking at my lines, leave me alone.
No, I'm not. I'm very focused. I'm very quiet.
Okay,
no, I'm very quiet. I might not seem quiet now. But no, so I was always the shy one at school. She's very shy. She's very quiet. But they didn't expect me to be able to do anything on stage. So I do remember I had a lovely teacher, Mrs. Mills.
You always remember the nice teachers and the horrible ones.
Oh, yeah. The nice one. At Shamblehurst Junior School.
Oh,
Shamblehurst, what a lovely name. And she was in charge of the choral speaking, and she happened to be my teacher. And I said, I'd like to be in the choral speaking. She said, oh, no, Suzanne, you're too quiet. I thought, but I wouldn't be quiet on stage. I would project on stage. I must have been, I think, 9. So people think that if you're quiet in everyday life, you can't then go and be on stage and
sometimes
be loud.
Actually the opposite. I find that the best performers are the ones who are not trying to perform all the time in real life. And they're the ones watching and taking in other people's characters and studying them, and the quietest ones in the rehearsal room, and then suddenly they're on stage and you're like, wow.
That's when they do it. They're not chatting about their cat and this and that, and they're focused. So I'm focused. I'm very serious. I'm very serious about it. I'm very serious about it.
And passionate about it.
Yeah.
So you've done West End, a lot of West End.
Yes.
And TV, film.
And then television, yes. So I had to really say to my agent, I've got to be available for telly, otherwise I won't see you. So I had to say, I don't want to go up for that musical. I'm not going up for that musical. I'm holding out for television, for plays, for straight theatre. And it took a few goes. So I got a few bits of telly, but you've got to be available to do it. If you're in a West End show and you've got a 12-month contract.
But also,
you probably won't be available.
Adding to this, you have 2 kids. So that, how did you do that? Because that's what was been my thing.
So this changeover happened before the children came along. So I'd done quite a few musicals, and actually I got my first. I wrote off with my 10x8. It was so expensive. 10x8 CV in a plastic little thingy and a hardback envelope with a letter, a personalised letter to the artistic director.
The black and white
and white, 10x8.
Listeners who don't know what you have to do to get a job in acting, well, you used to be that you paid for these expensive A4 photos, which were beautiful. I actually really miss them.
Yeah.
And they were black and white, which actually is a bit odd because I don't know how they'd cast people, like if they were looking for a redhead or...
I still think colour's new. Oh, colour, you want a colour. I still think colour is new.
Yeah.
For those photographs, I mean, family photographs and everything, they were all colour and everything, but
for acting
it was black and white.
And A4, it was big, and
10x8s, and it was expensive. So, once you'd bought those, you had to think, right, who am I going to write to? And it was a whole thing. You'd go to Denbury Repros or somewhere like that and get them to reproduce your photo that you had done. You'd pay for however many, and that you'd just have, you'd have written a menu out, who you were going to write to. Menu. You won't get
list.
A list of contacts. So it was all planned. I write the letter. Oh, I made a mistake there. I got start again. Handwritten letter. You wanted them to notice you've been professional, and I couldn't cross something out or Tipp-Ex something out. I remember I used to use cream paper, Basildon Bond paper, lovely pen, kiss the envelope before I put it in the post box.
Wish you luck. I love it.
But I wrote to artistic directors of theatres around the country, casting directors for plays, saying, would you see me for your play? Oh, that's right, PCR as well. Used to send off a PCR that would come in the post, and that would tell you the casting breakdowns. I mean, they must have got hundreds of submissions. What chance did you have? But you felt you were doing. I felt I was doing something myself. I needed to be doing something. I don't know if anybody looked at them, but I'd send them off, and then eventually, I got a straight play. Well, a play. Through somebody coming to see me in a musical. Okay, this is a fantastic story. I'd been in Chicago, the musical, and then I was still on the roll of going, no more musicals, because I need to concentrate on my film and television and plays. And then somebody I'd been in the musical with said, actually, it was my agent who said, Suzy, would you be seen for Vanity Fair at the Theatre Museum? It's no money, but they'd like to see you. And I'm like, oh, it's no money and it's a musical. I want to be seen for plays and telly. And then somebody I'd been in Chicago with, he knew the writer, Julian Slade, the composer Julian Slade, and Robin Miller, who did the lyrics and the script for Vanity Fair the musical that had been done in the 1960s, and they were redoing it. Is my microphone right? They were doing it again. I think it was a forgotten musical. Stuart Nichols directing. Wonderful he was. And so, because a friend had said, would you come and audition for the lead in it? How could I say no? So I auditioned. I sang really inappropriate song, sang Johnny One Note.
I don't know this musical. I'm going to have to look it up.
High belting sound. It was comedy. It had everything in it. And they wanted me.
So over, you said 30 years?
34 years.
34 years. So over 3 decades,
Yeah.
you must have seen a huge change in the industry. So, I mean, we've already spoken about it,
Yes.
the literally the application stage of
Yes.
doing everything physically, sending paper copies in,
Yes.
photos, nothing electronically, queuing round the corner for an audition.
You see, that's before I had an agent. That was before I had an agent. And then when I had an agent, they sent off the 10 by 8s. Except when I was trying to cross over to be seen for television and plays and film, then I thought I need to put the work in as well. So my agent was doing it and I was doing it as well.
But I feel like it was more expensive
Yes.
to be an actress like 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, because also we had to pay equity fees, the union fees. You couldn't even be seen.
That's right.
Without an equity.
You had to be a member of equity. That's right. Yeah.
Whereas now it's different. You don't need to be.
I think it's different, but I work so. I feel I worked so hard to get my equity card in the first place, and I thought I'd done the amount of weeks you're supposed to do to get your equity card.
Yeah, because you had to prove that you were a serious actor. You had to show how many professional gigs you'd had.
I'm not quite sure.
Well, I know this because my sister and I had an argument about this the other day.
But
so she was like, I assure you I had to work to get that card, whereas I just paid for it. Like I said, I've been in this, this and this. They were like, here you go, here's the bill.
So I'd taken a job, actually before I left college, I was offered a job at Blackpool Pleasure Beach in some of their shows there. And that was a long contract. And I was building up my weeks of work so I could get my equity card. And then I did a trade show and I did a panto and I did a trade show and I auditioned for Cats. Now, you see, at my final recall, I'd sung the songs and everything, and then Dinks, who worked for Cameron McIntosh, said, did I say it was Cameron McIntosh?
Yeah.
Cameron McIntosh said, Suzy, there's only one thing, only one problem. You haven't got your equity card yet. And I said, don't worry, I've only got 2 more weeks left of work to do. She said, oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, so listeners would not understand this. No, it was quite more of a closed shop, I think.
Definitely. So then I started rehearsals for Cats. And then once we'd opened, so 4 weeks later, once we'd opened, the equity deputy on Cats, so each show has an equity deputy. I can't speak. Equity deputy.
An equity deputy.
I'll just say that.
Yeah. What did they do then?
So they deal with any problems that arise in the company.
So you don't sue them.
Equity. So they're the in-between person for equity and the job.
Yeah.
And it's all lovely and everything. But I was in the green room and I don't know if I was in my Cat's makeup or not. I was in the green room before a show and he came to me and said, Suzy, equity refused you your equity card.
No.
Sorry,
I'm really sad.
But I'd already got the job. Thank goodness. I was naive enough to think I'd done so many amounts of weeks of work. And I had actually done that amount of weeks of work. But looking back now, maybe I should have phoned equity to say, I'm going to be starting this new job. Yeah. Can you start counting my weeks from this week? I'll never know. Anyway, so the equity debt said to equity, for goodness sake, she's in Cats in the West End. Will you just give her our card? So I didn't know if I was going to get my card or not. And then they came back and said, well, yes, you can, but you'll have to change your name because there's already a Suzanne Baker. That is my real name.
Oh, I love Suzanne this. Baker. We're getting more secrets out. Yeah.
And of course, I was devastated because as Suzanne Baker, I was known for my whole life. And maybe the contract hadn't started.
So why
because of the programme.
So why Bloom?
I had to put my name in the programme. So I
Bloom.
was devastated because, you know, the people who'd been not very nice to me at school or pushed me in the corridor.
Yeah, you wanted to say, this is me.
This is me with my name in lights, you know? And maybe they'd go, oh, she's too shy and she's quiet, she can't. I wanted to prove that it was me. And I thought, well, what am I? And we didn't have the internet. We couldn't put on Facebook and now change my name because it wasn't there. We just had a landline or write a letter.
Put
or
it in
meet
the
somebody in person.
Local hedge end newspaper.
That's what I did. I put it in the paper, I think I remember doing that. So Equity said, you have to give us 3 on the form, on the paper form, 3 choices. So I was devastated that I'd have to change my name. I couldn't add a middle name. I couldn't add a middle initial. So I had to change either my Christian name or my surname. So I looked in the telephone directory. I looked in the telephone book and I thought, well, I can't have my real name. I'll have something that sounds catchy. And so
Bloom, because you're blooming gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, my darling. I gave 3 choices, and I remember the choices. Yeah. So yes, so it was. I became So Equity. Out of the 3 I gave them, they chose Suzy Bloom.
Wow.
And that's the story.
Well, there we are. Amazing. Well, we're going to crack on because I think we have half an hour left and a lot of questions. So we've heard it. Yeah, no, but it's good. It's good. It's because it's not just about you. We're hearing about the industry and how it's changed, which is what this is about. So yes, so we've seen the evolution of casting, of applying for castings. I mean, obviously for recent actors, they know how COVID changed everything. Gone were the days of going into a room, standing in front of casting directors, choreographers, whoever they were, and performing. You have to do tapes now.
Yes.
Pros and cons. Do you like doing self-tapes?
Well, the pros are you can check what they're going to see. You can send in what you think is the best that you've done. Also, it means if you're a busy parent, you can do it at midnight when everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
But it also means that you don't have to take the baby in with you or
travel into town, or if
travel into town.
A lot of actors are broke because they're trying to juggle jobs. So, travel is expensive. I think, to be able to audition at home, and then if you get a recall, get in the door is amazing.
Yes. I mean, also, it means that you don't have to be based in London.
Yep.
I suppose,
or based anywhere, because like commercials are always filmed overseas. So,
and also you don't have to, if you're on holiday and you can't make it back for that really important audition, or if you're, for example, doing a play in Harrogate, you can't make it back to meet Stephen Frears, they'll take it on a film it. It's the norm now, isn't it?
So it does feel surprised. Like more pros, actually.
Yes,
except there's that
cons are
go on.
Because I think it's probably because they don't have to hire a casting suite, they don't have to employ the people to film it, they don't have that time constraint for we're giving them 5 minutes each and we can only see 20 actors. So I think they see many more people, which could be good,
but then there's more competition.
And will they get through all the tapes? But there's a good chance you can get in the door. But I feel that, like, time is money. If they see somebody on a tape before they've seen the rest of the 50, and they think, she's great, she'll do the job,
seeing the rest.
Why do we need to waste our time? We've got it. And I think, I don't know. I can't say.
Oh dear, oh no. Oh, I'm just going to stop filming. My dog has been sick. Hello, we're back. My dog Shadow decided to just throw up. I think she didn't have enough attention from you, Suzy.
No, that's it. It's my fault.
She's a complete diva. She's just like, look at me, fine. Now look at me. So we're looking at how the industry's changed, pros and cons of self-tapes. So one of the questions I want to ask you. So I saw you in depicting Hedy Lamarr, who I loved that show. I loved the way it was written. I loved your performance, and it was very thought-provoking. And I'd already been thinking about doing my podcast, but when I saw you, I thought, here you are depicting one of the most famous Hollywood celebrities, most beautiful woman, and indeed you possess all that charm, and you really your presence on stage is glorious. You're
That's
just
very kind. Thank you.
You're really wonderful to look at. And I actually interviewed Graham, the director, beforehand, Graham Warrener.
Yes.
And he said something interesting, which is why I wanted to interview you, and you even picked up on it earlier. He said, you're an incredible actress, but not known as an actress, and well known as an understudy, correct?
Yes.
And I thought this was crazy, because I was looking at, when I went, I didn't know what to think, because I hadn't seen you perform before. And then I saw you, I was like, well, you're an actress. What is he talking about? What are you talking about? And I don't know where that label's come from, whether it's something you feel you're carrying, or it's something, like you said earlier, people pigeonhole people, especially actors. We get pigeonholed all the time, which is part of what this podcast is about as well, is that I don't think casting directors, but I don't think you're very imaginative sometimes. And they like to go, right, she looks like the romantic lead, or he's the comedy role, and she's the best friend. They sometimes can't look outside the box.
Well, they know what works, don't they? If it's worked before, it's probably tried and tested. And will they take risks? I think they should take more risks. I think sometimes they do, but with me, I think it's
tell us.
In the door.
Yeah, what's this label? Why do you feel
it's getting in the door to be seen for things, and the auditions I get are okay. If it's a film role, great, because it will be the role. But mainly I get called in after the main cast have been cast.
Because you have a very good reputation. So I'm interviewing Daryl back on Friday, and I said that I was interviewing you. She went, oh, Suzy is amazing. She is a wonderful actress. And also my old agent, Neil Wright, who I interview, he also speaks highly of you. So she's amazing. But he also said he knew that you were pigeonholed, and that they say, right, we've got our cast sorted. Who can we depend on?
I think that's it.
Which is a lovely thing,
isn't it? It's a lovely thing. It is. It is lovely. And, you know, I love an audition. Because it's a chance for me to show what I can do. And so I will study the text. I get it. I get good writing. I get it. I do it in the room. And more often than not, I get the job. I put the work in. I've got the comedy bones. I've got the experience. I'm quite old. And I'm happy to be seen. And I'm thrilled to get the part, the understudy part, even if it's understudy. Usually it's understudy with guaranteed performances.
Okay. So recently,
which is great.
You were at the Palladium, which
that's a little bit different.
Oh no, tell it.
That's a little bit different. So after my one pantomime that I did at Bradford Alhambra, which was great, you know, I was very young and I was happy to be in a job, and it was a great show. It was with Russ Abbott, Bella Emberg, and
awesome.
It was great.
Fun.
But I also thought, well, I don't want to be one of these actors, dancers who does summer season panto. I want to be in film. I want to be in plays. I want to be in the National Theatre. I want to be in the West End. So I decided then, after that pantomime, I wasn't going to do any more pantos. Said to my agent, no panto. It's always been on my agent, whoever I've been with. My agent's always had on there, no panto. But
And we should also say to the listeners that sometimes panto comes with a lot of snobbery in the acting world, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, but I think it...
And I've learned to step away from that. I
Yeah.
definitely had snobbery about it, and now I've learned to embrace it. I think it's wonderful.
I think it's wonderful. It's so wonderful. It really is. And I'm not putting the job down. It's just that I wanted to be available for other things and not pigeonholed as a dancer who does summer season and panto. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I wanted to be an actor. So then I think it was 4 years ago, I always say to my agent, if anybody calls, even if it's for something like, you know, something that I've said I don't want to do, like nude work or panto, please just run it by me, ask me. So I got this message from my agent saying, we've had a call, would you be interested in panto? And it was September, really late on, after all the pantos have cast. So I thought, what must this be? Has somebody dropped out? Or surely it can't be understudy, because they don't really have understudies in panto, unless maybe it's some like the Palladium. And I thought, well, you know, would I consider it? Because I don't want to be work away from home, unless it's filming on location for a couple of weeks or something, because of the children, family. So that the only thing I'd really possibly consider would be something like understudy Amanda Holden at the London Palladium or something like that. And it was understudy Dawn French at the London Palladium.
Wow.
Now, she is an idol of mine, Dawn French. I thought, I get to meet Dawn French.
Not just get to meet her, be
her,
be her, be you, but work with her.
French and Saunders. Oh my God, what? So it was a no-brainer. I said, yes, please, I'd like to read. And then I went in and read, and I thought, well, I don't think there's any chance that I'll be. And then they phoned up half an hour later offering me the job. So it was a thrill. I mean, we just come back to start things after COVID. You know, things were just starting to go, and some work was coming in, but that was a thrill to be at the London Palladium, to meet Dawn French, Julian Clary, Nigel Hayes, Gary Woonwell, you know, Paul Zandi,
all the names,
and to get paid actually as well. Get paid for that,
and be, especially after COVID, be back in theatre,
back in it. And I tell you what, it's a fantastic job. You're treated so well, and they're actually calling us standbys now instead of understudy, which I think makes a big difference. Because sometimes when you're understudy, the name is a bit underdog, and people can't help it. It's their natural instinct, their natural tribal thing is to treat the understudy, I can't speak, understudy, I think it should be called. Treat the understudy maybe not as well as they should be treated. And I've had that.
Wow.
And it's not nice.
No.
Because then the next minute, you're playing the lead. You're opening the show. You're getting all the laughs. And suddenly they say, oh my God, you were brilliant.
Yeah.
And you think, why did I get the job? Because I'm not just
because I have to be brilliant.
I did audition, but it's a strange mentality because you're not with the rest of the company. You're in the green room or you're watching.
It's sort of a bit of a subconscious prejudice, bias. I don't know what you call it. But I can imagine that. That's really hard.
And even the nicest people will say strange things, and you think, and they have to go, oh, hang on a minute. It's because of that natural.
And
instinct.
Actually, not to diss Dawn French, love her, and Catherine Tate, who you recently understudied. Stand by her. In a way, you could say you're actually better because they are known. So they possibly, not saying this is true, but they possibly got the part because they're a known actor or celebrity, because they're not even necessarily actors. Some of them are now TikTok stars who have just danced in supermarkets. And
I suppose you could say that, but I must also say Dawn French, Jennifer Saunders, Catherine Tate, they deserve to be there because they are brilliant. They are so brilliant. Honestly.
And yes, that they
Yeah.
are brilliant. They are brilliant.
Of course, I know you weren't saying that
but
they
what
aren't.
I'm saying is that why would people sort of
yes,
treat you badly? Because in order to have got there without having the name, you've got to not actually, maybe you've got to be better.
Well, you've got to be able to hold that stage. You've got to be able to hold that audience with very little rehearsal, very little preparation time,
and people's
sometimes.
expectations, because they've come to see Dawn French and it's Suzy Bloom.
Yeah.
And you don't want them to be disappointed. You want them to go away going, oh wow, well, we didn't get to see Dawn French, but boy, was she good.
That's what you want, and that's what I hope.
That is what I've heard.
But and this hadn't really sunk in until quite recently. That they will be disappointed when they know it's not Dawn French. I mean, I would be disappointed, but you've got to be so good that they sort of forget about it.
And I think the audience love it. I went to see Top Hat the musical recently, and the main actress role, character, actress's name's gone out of my head, and the character's gone out of my head. But the main lead heroine, I don't know what happened, but she couldn't perform. Yeah. And the understudy came on. She was brilliant. She fell over, hurt herself really badly at one point. She was actually bleeding, carrying on singing and dancing phenomenally. And then in a later scene, oh my gosh, poor girl, her costume didn't fit her. They obviously didn't have on standby the right costume for her. She was wearing the other actresses, yet she still did it brilliantly. I walked out of that theatre going, that was an incredible show, and even better because it was the understudy.
And people don't realise, understudy or standby. People don't realise that understudies frequently, they don't get the stage time, they don't get the rehearsal time, they don't get to do it with other actors. And so not only have they got to do the performance, they've got all these other things to contend with. I can't speak.
You speak beautifully. This is actors for you. We're like, we can't speak, we can't say our words.
I'm excited, I'm going too fast. So you've got all these other things to contend with. You've probably never done it with the lights before, which can knock you over, literally. They're so bright.
Especially panto lights. I don't know how you perform.
Well, I think the lights are much brighter now, apparently. I've got a lovely friend, Ella, who's an actress and singer, and she was on Spotlight for the panto. She does that in between. She said the lights are so much brighter now because people are used to looking at their phones and screens more, so that lights on stage have to be really bright.
I just thought I was getting older and sensitive to light and going, oh, it's so bright.
Well, the reason why I speak about the lights is because I was a cover understudy many years ago in a musical, and we'd not had a technical run through with lights and costumes or anything, and I was thrown on, I think probably with about an hour's notice or maybe less even, and I had to start the scene. I'd come on, push. This was Neil Wright, actually.
Oh, really? It's with Neil.
Pushed on from the side on a table, standing on a table, and then it would in blackout, and then it would start. The music would come on, and then the spotlight was on me. I was on the table doing a shimmy dance with head movements. Right. As soon as the light came on, poof! It nearly knocked me off the table.
Wow.
Didn't, but I was high-heeled shoes.
Bloody
on this little table, like a wobbly restaurant table, doing this shimmy dance, right? So that's why I always think, remember, the lighting might throw you mentally or physically. Sometimes we don't get a chance to do that.
Oh, me dropping my pen.
Sometimes we don't get a chance to do that. So you've got all these other things to contend with. And another job, I went on Quarter. I was told at the Quarter on a Saturday night for a play, and we'd not finished. The understudies hadn't finished rehearsing, but of course we'd sat in on rehearsals and we'd watched, and I'd been taking notes and I'd been rehearsing by myself. And on set, whenever I could get on set with the permission of the stage manager.
Yeah, sounds
And
hard.
And thank goodness I was told 15 minutes before the show, and none of the other actors in it had ever worked me. They didn't know what was going to come out my mouth. Thankfully, all went well. Started the show with a 4-minute monologue. It was a comedy. As soon as they heard the first laugh, they were relieved. And it was, you know what? I rose to the challenge, because what else can you do?
It sounds
happy.
Absolutely terrifying.
I was happy. Yes, this is my job. This is what I do. Saturday night, full house. I loved it.
Yeah, it honestly sounds terrifying, but amazing.
It is terrifying.
Absolutely amazing.
It is. It's terrifying, but I just had to think, well, whatever comes out my mouth, comes out my mouth. Because I haven't had time to run it or look at the script before I go on. And I wasn't just covering one, I was covering 2 different parts. Wow.
Okay, that's crazy.
Anyway, so
amazing.
I don't know if I've veered off.
No, that's fine. This is good. It's good. It's just giving us a full picture of what you do. So yeah, part of my next question, I guess, is about, do you think then, with your success, and it is success.
Thank you. I don't
really
choose.
Is.
I wouldn't choose to be understudy. That's the thing.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. So
choose.
What do you think is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I see you as a very successful working actress. And I say working because there's also that phrase where you have the jobbing actress or working actress. I see you're working. You're earning your living with your passion.
I'm
by
very
acting.
lucky. Yes.
But whether you feel you've made it is another question. Whether you feel you've had your big break is part of what the big question, my big question, is about anyway. So because we're kind of coming from my psyche, do you feel you've had your big break, or are you still waiting for it?
I feel that I'm still waiting for it.
Okay. This is where we're getting juicy. Okay.
Yes.
So let you into my psyche a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've had a very different path from you, and I got pregnant in my 20s and decided that I wanted to have children and still work. And I wasn't really sure if I was working the acting world, but I was doing lots with kids at Polka Theatre. Yeah. So I set up a party and events company.
Brilliant.
So I could have some type of control over my life and my income. Yeah. And that I could be a stay-at-home mum, be around for my kids, and at weekends go off and dress up as princesses and characters, and be Magical Jess, which is Magical Quest, my company. That's where it came from. So essentially, I call myself a working actress as well, because I'm getting paid to act, and I have performed in front of very, very famous celebrities, from Janet Jackson to Stella McCartney. I was about to say someone else, but I signed an NDA, so I can't say.
Really famous.
Yeah, really famous. So I've performed in front of a lot of people who are world famous, who have come up to me and said, "You are amazing. You're an amazing actress." Yet my straight acting career has, I would say, not been successful. I spent my early 20s ending up on the cutting room floor. I even had a scene where I kissed James McAvoy, and it will never see the light of day.
But you were there, and you did it, and you can say it, and you can tell people.
I know, but people won't believe me. James, if you're listening.
Find that cutting.
It was on Starter for 10, and we danced.
Oh, gosh.
But it was a little thing. But there were moments where I had a lot of...
Isn't it? That's the hope. You go, I've got this audition. You get a job. You do the scene.
And then you tell everybody, and they go to the cinema. They're like, "Jess, we didn't see you in it." I'm like, I just look like the biggest liar in the world.
We know that's not true, and we know you were in it, and you got the job.
And also, I was in the bill, which is part of the reason I live in South London, because I had a great part on the bill. It was a small part, but every week they gave me more and more lines. I was a nurse. Great. And I used to be like, "Sorry, constable, but you can't interview them right now because they're dying." So it was really dramatic. Please leave the questions. And then that got axed. So
but were you in You were in it for a
yeah,
while.
tiny bit, and but each week I was getting more lines and like getting known on set. So I was what do they still call them, like not a supporting artist, like a background artist,
but they were giving you the things because they trusted you.
Yeah, and I had my name on a rail, and I was in there twice a week, and I was getting more, and they were like, "Oh, Jess, we need this line." It was great.
Brilliant.
Then they axed it.
But you were on the telly doing that.
Yeah.
And you've got that on your CV.
On my CV. And then I was in Foyle's War. I had an amazing scene, and then I had 2 scenes. One where I was murdered, and then the second scene I was a dead body. We never saw the murder with my lines. No, we just saw Jess dead body in an open grave, naked. Although Foyle's War was BBC, so you didn't see too much. So,
but
and then I had a part in Harry Potter. I was Hermione's double. Yeah.
Oh my God! Was it you we see from the back with the hair when she punches Malfoy?
No.
Was it the other bit? Oh,
it was a bit where you don't see anything. It's just Hermione in the distance with hair.
I've always wondered who that is.
Well, only in the first one. Only in the first. So this is what I'm saying. So I feel my career never quite took off,
but it has been fantastic.
Yes,
but it
like yours. We're working. We're following our passion. We're doing things. But here's the big question. Okay, so after I had kids and I continued with the company because it makes me money and it's fun and I love it, I was like, right, I'm going to get myself an agent again, and I'm going to get out there. I'm going to go back to auditions. So and obviously the world had changed. It was a completely different world I was entering in. Right. So the difference between the 90s to the 2010s.
Yes.
So 20 years difference was vast.
Yes.
Suddenly it felt like the market was saturated because more people, you didn't have to prove yourself. You didn't need that equity card. The expenses were less, and also more and more people were being, I think, dragged off the street.
Street casting there is now. It's a thing.
You didn't have to go to drama school. You didn't need to have proven yourself.
You could be working for the supermarket they want to make the advert for, and so that it'd be like, oh, I'm going to be on telly. So they didn't.
There was like a famous Halifax advert where it was the Halifax banker, and he was in loads and loads of them, and he was a banker, which is great. You know, he did a good job in the advert.
Yeah.
So I was entering a different world.
Yes.
And then I suddenly started getting what I felt was a comment that I hadn't quite heard in the casting suite. So I was getting emails back saying the brand have gone another way, which is the classic.
Yeah.
Or the director felt that you were too ethnic was one.
Right.
Which I could only put down to one thing, which I believe is my nose, which is what the big question is about.
Yeah.
And then you can't help but then look at who got the job, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm seeing that the person who's getting the job instead of me is someone with a more castable, ordinary, castable, symmetrical face. Somebody but this could all be coming from my paranoid psyche of why I haven't had the big break. So my big question to you is, I feel, and this is the reason of the podcast, is that as much as our industry say it's evolved, and it definitely has in many ways, I feel like it's evolved in a way that, yes, we are diverse. We are seeing people from definitely different backgrounds, different ages. I do believe, I spoke to Neil about this, he says there's more and more castings coming in for older actors, older women. Yay.
Yes. Good.
Definitely, he says casting agents have more imagination. I will ask casting directors, maybe. I'm not convinced still.
And then sometimes you think maybe it's not the casting directors, maybe it's the director who's given them the brief,
or the brand
for
commercials, who go, no, she just looks too different.
Yes, there's a panel of people there, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
so my big question is, I don't feel I've had my big break or my success, and I'm putting it down to my big nose. That's my theory. I think I look too different for British TV. When I watch French TV, I'm completely obsessed with Call My Agent. Have you seen it?
I've not seen it, but I've been
you
meaning
have
to watch it.
Oh, it's brilliant. Suddenly, I'm looking at people on the screen who look different.
Good.
They're not all attractive. They're not real as in they've been street casted. They're actors who are brilliant at acting, and they just look different. Like interesting features, different features, not perfect,
not the safe, pretty perfect.
Exactly.
Not the perfect little nose, not the. So this is good to hear. Hopefully that will come over here then.
I don't know if it will, because I feel like all we see on social media is perfect. And so part of my big question is that I feel, as I'm getting back into acting now, should I have a nose job in order to get my foot in the door more?
My answer to that is no.
I was going to say you don't have to answer it, but you
and I'll tell you why. Because then you'll look like everybody else. And people used to say that to me when I said, because I've got a squoggle in my nose, and it hits the light.
I think you're beautiful, and I said earlier that you remind me of a Sophie Ellis-Bextor.
Thank you very much.
But because it's always a bit rough to be compared to somebody else when you're you in your own right.
I don't mind, because I always think, I also get Shirley Henderson.
Oh yes,
Shirley Henderson.
Yes, your voice as well, and your playfulness.
And I can even work it up so that I'm more like her in the voice. And I always, when people say that, I think, yes, because please can I play her sister in something?
Yes.
Or if you can't get a hold of Shirley Henderson and you need somebody who's a bit like her, I'm here.
Yes.
And I'm available.
If anybody's listening, casting directors.
And I tell you what's really weird.
Another Shirley Henderson, but Suzy Bloom.
Or like her, her sister.
Yeah.
She can have we can split the role or something.
You could be the nice one, because she's quite evil now.
But I can do mad as well. I can do mad and evil.
Yeah, mad and evil's good. Yeah.
But so much so I was watching the telly a few years ago, and I thought, oh my God, I didn't know there was this gut feeling before my mind had even thought about it. I got the feeling that was me on screen.
Wow.
It was a wide shot, but I thought, oh my God, that's me. I didn't know I'd feel, that's not me, it's Shirley Henderson. But I thought that was me.
You haven't met Shirley Henderson then?
I've not met her. I'd love to meet her.
I think that would be a really cool thing. Yeah.
I'd love to meet her.
That's like, have you ever seen Isla Fisher, who's really funny, talk about Amy Adams?
Oh, no, I've not.
It's hilarious, because they always get confused.
Yes, of course they do.
So Isla Fisher plays on it. She really plays up to it. It's great. I really like that. So you should meet Shirley, and you should do swapping.
I'd day in the life. In fact, I was casting a film which never ended up happening because the director said she'd like somebody to do have you seen that Happy Valley? Have you seen Happy Valley? There's an actress in it who goes to see somebody in prison, and she's really intense, and she's really emotional. She said, that's what I want. That's what I want. And I said, what, Shirley Henderson? I saw that. And I thought that was amazing. And yes, I can do it. Fine. Thank you very much. And then we didn't make that because it was a feature, but then she cast me in a short film, which is doing very well at the festivals at the moment.
Oh, what is it?
It's called The Pause. And this wonderful woman who wrote it, directed it, got everything together on it, Sam Grierson. She's up and coming. She's amazing. And I love her so much because she cast me as the lead in her film.
Yeah, we'll have to.
But I love her so much because she's just incredible.
Talking about the big break, the feeling of rejection, of not success. I hear you. Don't change. I don't want to change.
Yes, I know. And can I say, when I've been feeling particularly low about the business, or maybe I just had a rejection of some kind. I do remember one time when my agent dropped me, and I had 2 young children. I think Charlie was only 18 months old, and I'd gone to every audition that they'd sent me for. I pulled out the stops. I'd gone with buggy board and buggy and baby and on the breast and
do you want to
whatever.
name and shame?
I shan't.
Oh,
I shan't. Because I know it was just business.
Yeah, I know.
But I took it personally.
Yeah.
Because I blink and I put everything into this business. Because I love it. And this is what I should be doing. And I thought, there's something, it's my nose. It's my nose. That's why I'm not getting seen. That's why I'm not getting in the door. It's my nose. And then another time I was feeling low. I thought, it's my nose. It's my nose. So I actually had a consultation with a nose specialist, rhinoplasty surgeon. Researched it all, found the best, paid to have a consultation. What he said to me was, well, I had to provide photographs of front on, side on, and everything. But he said, take them from, I think it was 1.5 meters back, or it might have been 2 meters.
Yeah.
He said 1.5 meters back, because if you're taking a photograph on your phone, I don't know whether it applies to camera as well. Selfies or whatever, they come up, they're really close.
Oh, the fisheye lens.
And they make your nose look bulbous. And of course, I'd been going, oh my God, on these photographs with people on the social media, my nose looks massive. Selfies, my nose looks massive. I've got to have something done about it because it's terrible. Obviously, that's why I'm not getting the work. And I realised then that it was about the selfies, about the camera phone. Just have the photograph taken further back and then cut it in. And I thought, it looks all right. Anyway, I had this consultation. In the end, I decided not to go ahead because I might die.
Okay, so this is
and also,
I'm kind of, this is emotional hearing, because I've been down the same path, and I thought, well, one, to have a nose job for the industry or for my career is really, it's a really shit thing, actually. The pressure, but it's you think it will enable you to do the jobs you want to do. But also, I feel that people aren't imaginative enough, or they don't want to see different faces. But if I have the nose job, and there are 2 reasons why I'm not having it. One reason is, if I have the nose job, then I'm literally feeding in society's psyche of what is normal on screen, TV, theatre, in society, that in order to be successful, whatever that is in inverted commas, you have to look a certain way. I don't want to feed into that psyche.
No.
But at the same time, I'm absolutely petrified I might die. And I have a wonderful husband and 2 gorgeous kids that I don't want to leave behind, all for the sake of a nose. But
it's a nose to get the jobs, but also then you'd be like everybody else with a normal nose.
But
that's what I thought. I thought I'd be everybody else like a normal. And then so when a part comes up where they want somebody a little bit quirky, maybe I wouldn't fit anymore because this is gone.
I know, but then I look on screen and I don't see quirky, unless that's what I'm saying. In France, they all look quirky, but they don't. It's just their norm. And then in Hollywood, no one. Okay, in Idina Menzel, quirky if you're saying it because of her nose.
Right.
Also, the most incredible singer, and made it because of her voice.
Barbra Streisand.
Yes. And my first episode, I do talk about, like you say, about people saying you look like some people. My whole life, it's been Barbra Streisand or Sarah Jessica Parker. But why can we list them on our fingers on one hand?
Yeah.
Why aren't we seeing more of those faces?
Yeah.
I just don't believe in this word of diversity. I don't know. And then my sister, she dropped a banger. She loves doing this. She's always the one.
That's what sisters are for.
Yeah, big sister. She said to me, don't change your nose now. And I said, why? She went, because you're finally coming into the casting bracket where you can play wicked old ladies. Classic. She's like, no, keep it, because it means you can play like the wicked stepmother, the evil witch.
Which reminds me, I went to see an agent when I was looking for a new agent. And they said...
No, they didn't.
I can see you play the witch. You can play the witch. They said that. And I thought, I don't think you're the agent for me. I said, thank you very much. And went, I thought, is that all? The witch. You'd be good at the witch. I mean, this was maybe 20 years ago.
But so, I don't think people's imagination have changed. Oh, although thanks to Wicked, Cynthia,
yes,
she has probably changed the face of a witch.
Yes,
she has. Thank goodness.
But Hermione.
Yeah. Oh, Hermione's a witch. Yeah.
But I don't.
Helena Bonham Carter, Bellatrix.
She's beautiful, Helena Bonham Carter,
incredible.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
So she shouldn't have had that part.
No, should have given it to.
Mind you, what am I saying? What am I saying?
It's okay. Yeah. So these are my bugbears. This is what it's about. I don't know. I don't feel like. Essentially, should we have to change to get our foot in the door? And when I say we, I don't just mean you and me. I'm talking about other people out there.
Yes.
Who perhaps aren't. I love Amanda Holden, by the way. I really love her. But
she's lovely. I love Amanda Holden. Understudied Amanda Holden. She's lovely.
I did her wedding for her. But yeah, Amanda, if you're listening, it's me, Magical Jess. Yeah, she's gorgeous. She has so much energy. Wow,
force of nature.
She is incredible.
She's a force of nature. She gets things done. Yes, so
but we don't all fit into Amanda's beautiful.
We don't
pixie look.
What if she was in our situation? Would she make something to fit her? So, for example, we should write something which doesn't mean that to be in it you have to have a quirky look. So that should be a material.
Yeah, it should, exactly, yeah.
But we should write something for ourselves and for others. It's getting the funding though, isn't it?
Yeah, but just to see that you don't have to look a certain way to get certain parts. And that's what I was saying with the Call My Agent. One of the agent in it, she's like the feistiest agent. She's lesbian and she has this huge amount of love interest. Like she gets any woman, she walks into a bar and the women just drop at her feet.
Yeah.
And she's her business, she gets all the contracts. She doesn't stand for any crap. She has a nose. You can't miss it.
Okay.
She has a big nose, an unusual nose.
Yeah.
Yet she's been cast as powerful, successful, and sexy.
Not a witch.
Not a witch. And not evil, like, because her character's nuanced. Although she comes across as really hard, she is softy inside and looking for love. And then becomes a single mother. It's really sad. Sorry if I've given a spoiler. But you should watch Call My Agent. But that's what I love about her. Maybe France. It doesn't. They've literally gone. She's an amazing actor, can play this role. Rather than does she look right?
That's it. Yeah. And that's got to happen.
But I don't see. I'm cynical. I'm thinking it won't happen. Therefore, I have to change my nose to get in the door. But if somebody overnight offers me a part, and probably you wouldn't change anything.
No.
And I'm not saying you are thinking of changing anything.
No, but I was.
Myself.
No, but every now and again, I do think, because I've always wanted a lovely little nose. But I haven't got it. Hopefully people can see past that. And the thing is, you see, of course I have, if I've gone up for a film, then I've usually got it. It's getting in the door in the first place. So, and they've never said anything about my nose. And I've always in the makeup thing say, can you powder my nose? Can you powder it? Because of the shine coming off it. But I think people want to see real things now.
I think so. But then I think we're competing with social media where they don't see anything real. So therefore, the more reason to see real on TV. But
yeah, more reason. Do you think it's going to shift?
So Neil, who we spoke about, he believes it's going to evolve. He thinks it is going to evolve even more. There's going to be more faces, more change. I don't know. We're yet to see.
I really hope so. And I think it will be more interesting. It will be more interesting.
I think so.
And it will be more comforting, heartwarming for us to see.
And also for
people
the
like
next
that.
generation to be watching their screens and go, oh, that person looks like me, and they're playing a romantic lead. They're not just playing the funny best friend.
Yes.
Or the evil character, or whatever
Yeah.
it is. I'm not just talking about noses
Yeah.
now. I'm talking
Yeah.
about whatever it is. But I'm realizing I think we're getting to an end because we've talked a lot. We've talked
Yes.
a lot, and I'm hungry, and I think my microphone's picking up my tummy rumbling.
And I hope my microphone hasn't been too squaggly, because every now and again I move it. I hope it hasn't gone.
It might have done. People are getting a real feel.
But honestly, I can talk to you forever because it's so interesting and there's so many things we've not covered.
Suzy, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I thought I was going to get more emotional because before we started, I had a bit of a cry, and I can't even remember what it was you said now, and you set me off.
Well, you know, that's the professionalism, you know, stepping up, isn't it? I don't know.
I think you said something and it really resonated, and I was like, oh my gosh, you just set me off. And then I went and powdered my nose.
It must have been something about noses and family life.
Maybe.
Was it? And the struggle in this industry to get
and
seen.
that we keep going.
That's it. We keep going, don't we?
We're resilient and strong and all those things, and and we're passionate.
We're passionate, and I sometimes say I've not quite come to my senses yet, because I'm still doing this, and that's what I want to do.
And aren't we lucky, really, to be doing it in whichever way, whether it's on the West End, in a movie, or even entertaining 30 kids and making them believe in you. That's what it is.
Yes.
We tell a story.
That's right. And I think the same is for people with a proper job, a normal job, and they do amateur dramatics in their spare time, and they put everything into it. You know, we're lucky that we can do this as our job, and it pays us enough to keep going, and I will keep going.
Thank you. On that note,
thank you so much.
I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye. Hi. Oh, wow. Suzy's just left, and I think we spoke for like about 3 hours because we were speaking before we were filming as well. And I had to kick her out. I had to say it's time to go because I need to clear up the dog sick. I can't believe my dog threw up in the middle of that. Comedy gold. That was fascinating. First of all, Suzy is a really, really talented actor. And if you ever get a chance to see her perform on the West End stage, she didn't even go through her credits, her list of things. But yes, she was recently performing at the Palladium, and she did 40 Towers for a long time as understudies or standbys, as she told me they're now called. But also in her own right, if you get to see her in any plays or short films, I'll add some links to her upcoming projects as well. But it was very weird, actually, at times listening to her speak, because it felt like hearing my inner voice vocalized, which is, it's strange because sometimes you think you're the only one who has these thoughts and these feelings, the paranoias. And we were talking afterwards about having people take photos of us and having to say, she had to say to somebody once, oh, please, can you just step a bit further back and take the photo again? And they were like, no, why? And you feel like you can't say because I don't like my nose in that picture. But people have many things about their bodies that they don't like, and they ask people to photo or film them from different angles. People have foibles, right? And in a way we should respect that. We're not divas, we're just real people. And yes, it was very powerful hearing her speak about the idea of success. And we also said afterwards that we are really successful in our own right. We are being paid to act, and that's what we want at the end of the day. But I think the bigger picture is breaking those roles and stereotypes. And like we said, just because our faces might not fit a certain box in this country, I'm really going to emphasize that, as romantic lead or sexy. I don't know what the box is. Why can't we be seen in those roles? Actually, I think that will bring me on nicely to my next episode, when I'm going to speak to a producer, somebody who is hopefully behind these decisions. Why are certain people cast and others cast than others? Is it because they're a name? Is it because of their looks, their talent? What is it that gives somebody the big break and somebody not quite the big break? Why are some people still knocking at that door, or feel they are? Yes. So that's what's going to happen in the next episode of Big Question. I have been speaking too long this afternoon. I am knackered and hungry. So thank you for listening to the Big Question. It is I, Jessica Kingsley. I have written this and co-produced this with Sad Face Media. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Until next time. Bye.